Elena Cross adjusted the hood of her plain sweatshirt as she slipped quietly through the side entrance of her corporate headquarters. As the CEO of Cross Dynamics, one of the fastest-growing engineering firms in the country, she was used to being seen in tailored suits, commanding boardrooms, and signing deals worth millions. But tonight she was simply Elena. No expensive heels, no security detail, no air of authority. Just a woman blending in with the night staff to see her empire from the ground level. Her footsteps echoed across the marble lobby until something unusual caught her eye. A young man sat at the security desk, hunched over a thick textbook. A small flashlight flickered across the pages, the only source of light as he scribbled furiously in a worn notebook. Elena slowed, curiosity sharpening her gaze. The man looked weary, his dark hair untidy, his uniform pressed but worn. Yet his focus was unshakable. He muttered formulas under his breath, eyes darting back and forth across diagrams. "Long night?" Elena asked softly. The man startled, snapping the book shut. His flashlight wobbled before he steadied it. "Oh, yeah. Just trying to stay awake." Elena gave a kind smile. Looked more like studying than staying awake. "What's the book?" The man hesitated before answering. "Advanced Engineering Mechanics." His voice carried both pride and exhaustion. Elena tilted her head. "That's not exactly light reading. What's your name?" "Lucian," he said, straightening as if his name demanded strength. "Lucian Hale." Elena tucked the name away. "So Lucian, working nights and studying engineering at the same time?" He chuckled dryly. "What choice do I have? Tuition's expensive. My dad's medical bills eat most of what I earn here, and my sister's still in school. If I finish my degree, maybe I can give them a better life." Elena studied him, her chest tightening. There was no bitterness in his voice, just quiet determination. "I'm guessing you don't get much rest," she said gently. Lucian shook his head. "Rest can wait." "My family can't." He tapped the notebook. "Every formula gets me closer. I promised my mom, before she passed, that I wouldn't stop until I became an engineer. I intend to keep that promise." The words hit Elena like a wave. She sat across from him, blending into the silence of the building. They spoke for over an hour, voices low, as Lucian described his dream of designing machines that could make construction safer and more efficient. His eyes lit up as though he lived in two worlds, one trapped in the uniform of a guard, and another in the sketches of his imagination. But Elena also noticed the fatigue. His hand trembled as he wrote. His eyelids drooped before he forced them open again. He was pushing himself far beyond his limits, and yet he refused to quit. "You know," Elena said quietly, "most people would have given up by now." Lucian's gaze sharpened. "Maybe, but my sister believes in me. My father depends on me. If I stop, I let them down. And I can't." Elena rose to leave, her thoughts heavier than she expected. She glanced back at him one last time, the sight of Lucian Hale chasing a dream under the dim glow of a dying flashlight. The image stayed with her long after she walked into the cold night air, burning into her mind with a strange, almost haunting weight. Something told her this wasn't just another undercover night. She had stepped into a story that was about to change them both. The next morning, Elena sat in her corner office high above the city. Reports and contracts piled across her desk, but her mind wasn't on them. All she could see was Lucian Hale fighting through exhaustion, studying by flashlight, holding on to a promise made to his late mother. His eyes had carried the kind of fire she had once seen in her own reflection, back when she was still clawing her way to the top. By noon, Elena knew what she had to do. That night, she returned to the building, this time in her sharp navy suit, the one her board always associated with authority. When she stepped into the lobby, Lucian nearly jumped to attention, his face paling. "Miss Cross," he stammered. He had only seen her face on company newsletters and framed photographs. To see her in person was a shock. Elena raised a hand gently. "Relax, Lucian. Sit." He obeyed, still stiff with nerves. His textbook remained open on the desk, filled with scribbles and formulas. Elena picked it up and glanced at the notes. "You study here every night," she said softly. Lucian hesitated. "Yes, ma'am. I try to make the most of the quiet hours." She smiled faintly. "Last night I came here in disguise. You didn't know it was me." His eyes widened. That was you?" "Yes," Elena replied. "And I haven't been able to stop thinking about you since, about your dream." About your family. Lucian flushed with embarrassment. I'm sorry if I spoke out of turn. I didn't mean... Lucian, Elena interrupted, her tone gentle but firm. You didn't cross any line. You inspired me. He froze, his confusion plain. You remind me of myself, Elena continued. When I was younger, I worked long nights and studied with nothing but determination. I know what it feels like to fight for a dream others can't see. She placed a sleek envelope on the desk. Inside is a full scholarship, funded by Cross Dynamics. Tuition, books, everything covered. On top of that, there's a guaranteed internship in our engineering division. You'll have mentors, resources, and a future worth your fight. Lucian's breath hitched. He stared at the envelope as though it might disappear. His hand shook when he touched it. This can't be real, he whispered. People like me don't get opportunities like this. Elena's eyes softened. Lucian, people like you are exactly why I built this company. You have heart, vision, and discipline. All you needed was a chance. Consider this that chance. Tears welled in his eyes, and he quickly looked down. Miss Cross, I don't know how to thank you. My family, my father, my sister, this changes everything. Elena placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. Then don't thank me. Just promise me you'll finish what you started. Become the engineer your mother believed you would be. Lucian swallowed hard, standing straighter than before. He extended his hand, voice steady despite the emotion trembling beneath it. I promise. I won't waste this. Elena clasped his hand firmly. I know you won't. Now go build the future, not just for yourself, but for everyone waiting on you. That night, as Lucian reopened his textbook, the flashlight beside him no longer symbolized struggle. It symbolized hope, because someone had seen him in the dark and decided to light his way forward. And for Elena Cross, the encounter with a determined young guard reminded her of her own journey and why she became a CEO. Not just to build a company, but to change lives one dreamer at a time.